So little update, I've seen the surgeon. Appointment went very well. He wasn't worried at all. He basically said it's completely normal to have bruising and swelling and edema and all this stuff, especially like a week after surgery. Apparently that's when it kind of peaks. So he told me I could take off the plastic cast for like about a week to see if that helps the sensation, because I was just feeling really stuck in the cast. So I've just got like the sling, which I'm happy about. It's more comfortable. He also told me to just ice it twice a day, and I told him that it triggered nerve pain, but he was like, just try and ice it further away, then just get any ice you can on the area to like reduce swelling. And he said twice a day for 10 minutes. He actually was saying, no, it's good that it's swelling and bruising and stuff and that you're getting pain, because that shows that you're going through the scarring process. So yeah, no, it was I guess a bit of a panic for nothing, but he did say it was good to go and check anything that feels a bit unusual. So yeah, pretty positive down this end, although, you know, I'm in quite a lot of pain. It is uncomfortable, but I guess I'm a little bit reassured. He also told me I could sort of move my elbow a little bit, like it wasn't, you know, in my head I had the idea that I had to keep it like completely still, like any micro movement was bad. But he said basically you just don't want to fully bend the elbow or fully extend it. So he was like, if you need to, you can sort of move your arm a little bit, but yeah, so obviously I'm still going to be really careful with that. But it's good to have heard that I can move a little bit. The surgeon also said again today how shocked he was at just how much of a mess the inside of my arm was, basically hinting again at what a bad job my last surgeon did. He was like, yeah, it was just, I understand why you were in so much suffering, is what he was saying. So in a way it was kind of very like affirming to hear that finally, because there's honestly some health professionals that have sort of said to me like, yeah, like it's learnt pain, or like it's normal for it to hurt this much. I'm like, no, it's not. Like the nerve was literally strangled. It's like a garden hose. If you imagine a garden hose that's been stepped on and twisted in 17 different directions, and finally the foot has been lifted. Like, okay, so it's the 5th of May. So today got off this terrible start. I slept so badly because even though I removed the solid cast, like every position I put my arm in, I felt like whatever I put it on was digging into my elbow, and it was so painful. So I hardly slept, and I know that when you are sleep deprived, pain sensation is heightened, and also stress is heightened, and it's harder to control your emotions. So I am bearing that in mind, like when I feel pain and when I feel scared about the pain. So basically the arm is is quite swollen. There's still a bruise really near the operation site that is kind of pressing down on nerves and stuff. My elbow hurts, and I just have really bad numbness, burning, tingling in my fingers. Yeah, very uncomfortable. And I saw the nurse this morning to change the bandage, and she was kind of anxious. She was like, okay, like, it's not normal that you're in more pain now than yesterday. Like, we need to call the surgeon right now. And we couldn't get hold of him, so panic was rising, and I was instantly thinking, oh my god, there we go, it's like last year, it's going to heal terribly, like I shouldn't have had the surgery. Like my mind just went instantly into a negative spiral, very like quite overwhelming. And also because paracetamol and icing like wasn't helping, I was like, oh my gosh, like what's going on, the surgery's gone wrong, which I now realise was complete catastrophization. But yeah, in the moment it's really hard to stop that type of thinking. So eventually the surgeon called me back, and he sent me a prescription for some quite strong anti-inflammatories to take again. So that's good. He also said I could ice more times a day than I was currently doing. And he said something that reassured me quite a lot, was that, you know, like surgery was still really recent, so there's a lot of bleeding, lots of edema, all this stuff, it's normal. And also because it was nerve damage, like that takes a really long time to become normal. He said nerves grow at a rate of 1 millimeter a day, which I already knew, but like I forgot to bear in mind. He said it's completely normal to have
like the tingling in the fingers, especially because it's so far away from where the nerve is damaged. So that is the last bit to feel normal once the nerve heals, if that makes sense. He said, you know, my thumb is numb and all of that because of the bruising and the swelling, and he was just like, okay, try to elevate your arm like on a pillow when you're sitting so that it's above your heart, and that the icing should help with that. So, you know, it was really reassuring, even if it was like just a 5-minute call. It made a really big difference to my day, and I feel calmer now, and I just know that this pain is nothing really to panic about. I just have to deal with it. It's very uncomfortable though, but it will be okay. I just need to find a way to sleep well, because obviously, like, when you're not sleeping enough, everything else kind of goes down the drain in terms of your mood and pain. So yeah. I literally can't do this. Like, the pain is so bad. It feels like having something pushing against your funny bone like 24/7.
So here in the north of France is absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Really nice weather today, feeling the spring. I wanted to say quite a lot today. It's the 10th day after the surgery, which is what my surgeon described as like the critical period between 10 days and 3 weeks after the surgery. It's like where you're gonna get like the most pain, the most scarring and all of that. Yesterday, specifically at night, it was horrible because I've never had this much pain in my arm. It was a mixture of like sharp pain at the elbow, like on the scar, plus this awful nerve pain like all the way down the arm, and not just the ulnar nerve, like because my thumb was numb, and like basically all the nerves in the arm seemed to be on fire. It was really scary, because nerve pain, if you haven't experienced it, you won't really know, but it's a very scary type of pain because it's not sharp, like almost a constant burning, tingling, numbness that you seemingly have like no control over, because painkillers don't really do anything for nerve pain. So it's a very scary type of pain, especially when, you know, because I've got nerve damage, I know that it's not a good thing. You know, when the nerve hurts, it reminds me that it's still hurt. Very good English there. So I was really anxious last night just because I was in this awful amount of pain. Like, it was genuinely the worst pain I've ever had anywhere, and like I couldn't get comfortable. Like, if I put my arm on a pillow, it would just press down on the scar, and it was so painful. I just couldn't calm down, couldn't feel physically comfortable. Obviously no chance of falling asleep like that. So I decided to do something. So I thought to myself, well, there's not really a million things I can do right now. I've spoken to the surgeon twice in 2 days. He's prescribed me much stronger anti-inflammatories that I've started to take. He said I can ice the arm, and all of the stuff that he said I've been doing. So that's good. He also did not seem worried, even when I was quite distressed on the phone to him. He was like, it's pretty normal. Like, don't worry. There's bruising, there's swelling, the surgery was recent, and the nerve isn't going to suddenly feel better. It's going to take time to heal. So I was like, well, the surgeon isn't worried, and he's told me what to do, and I've been doing that. So that's all fine. There's nothing more I can do. The thing I need to do now is go to sleep. I'm too anxious to sleep, so what can I do to reduce the anxiety? So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to write out on my notes document just some self-soothing, like rationalizing statements, which I did. I might or might not put a screenshot of them on the screen, depending on if I feel whether it's too personal or not, but I think it could help you if you're struggling with pain anxiety. So once I'd written out those statements, I was like, okay, well, now I'm gonna stop thinking about this. Much easier to say than do. I was like, I've done all I can, written down my worries and reassuring statements. Now all I need to do is fall asleep. So I'm going to read, and once I read, I'm going to do a meditation on this amazing app called Curable that I think I've spoken about before on this channel, which is literally designed for people who struggle with pain, chronic pain, anything like that. It has really good resources, massively recommend it. I'll do a whole video on it another time. And I was a bit doubtful though. I was like, yeah, this meditation is not going to calm me down. But it was like magic. I almost fell asleep during it, but I didn't. I sort of jolted awake suddenly. But it massively calmed me down, and I thought, this is crazy. My pain is already subsiding. Like, it went from this unbearable constant burning to just a bit of like, obviously still quite a lot of tingling and pain, but that felt so much more bearable. And then I did another thing on the Curable app. I listened to a 7-minute audio of something called somatic tracking. And this is a really cool method that is used in chronic pain sufferers to observe your pain with much less panic. And the concept of somatic tracking is that you're basically lying down as if you're meditating and you notice pain in your body. So for me, it was easy to notice in the arm. And instead of panicking and asking yourself, like, what does this mean? Like, I'm in danger type thing. Somatic tracking teaches you to just kind of passively observe the pain and notice that it actually changes. Notice that the sensations change. You try and identify what kind of sensation is it? Is it a burning? Is it a tingling? Is it a throbbing? Has it moved? Has it got bigger? Has it got smaller? But you're just observing it passively. It's not a stressful, hyper-vigilant looking at it like, has it gone? It's, you look at it just like, okay, that's interesting. And that really takes away a lot of the pain's power. So that helped me a bit as well last night. And I managed to fall asleep pretty quickly after that. And I just wanted to talk about this because, and I'm going to do a separate video on pain anxiety because it is such a real thing and such a scary experience. But I just wanted to say that, like, there are tools that you can use if you're in a situation like that. Like when you're dealing with chronic pain or you have very scary pain that is sending you in a very anxious state. Like, there's things you can do that can help. And again, like, this just shows the importance of the brain in the experience of pain. Like, all pain is processed through the brain. And so if you're in a super anxious state, sleep deprived, then the pain is going to be 10 times worse. So yeah, very interesting. But that's what I wanted to share today. But yeah, I managed to get a decent night's sleep. I think the anti-inflammatories have worked a bit because I have less swelling in the arm. The pain's a bit better. It's still very uncomfortable, but much more bearable than yesterday. And yeah, so feeling pretty positive this morning. Here's my new drugs. Damn, you really can't take anything when you're pregnant. Can't tell by my face, but this is the first time in 2 weeks that I've had a full night's sleep without waking up in the middle of the night. Feeling pretty positive this morning because I've been comparing pictures of my scar like today compared to how it looked last year at the same stage, so like 10 days, 11 days after the surgery. And this year looks so much better, way cleaner, less swelling, less bruising. The reason why that's good is just because it means that healing is going much more smoothly, scarring is better. The nurse this morning said that the scar has already formed, like it's closed up and stuff, so it's just, yeah, I'm happy because I was really scared that this would go wrong again, but so far so good. So back in Forest. It is almost 2 weeks after the surgery and I've been feeling very positive last day or so, just because like I'm trusting the process and I'm kind of happy that I know now that I'm doing things a lot better than last year in terms of letting the arm like heal and scar properly. I noticed something last night when I was falling asleep. I felt some sort of tingling along my arm around the nerve and stuff that I'd never felt before, in the sense that it was a different type of tingling. Like, it wasn't painful, it was kind of just like prickly, like, yeah. And I looked it up online. I was like, could this be a sign of like the nerve regenerating itself? And apparently it could be. So like, obviously no guarantee, but I mean, I was very excited because I was thinking, oh my gosh, could it be that the nerve is already starting to sort of fix itself because it's finally now been released from what was trapping it? It's exciting because I never felt this last year, I don't think. So positive stuff. So then I decided to do a workout. I actually did one a couple days ago, the same one as I'm showing here. I'm obviously very limited in what I can do in a sling, not able to hold weights and stuff like that. So I'm working on lower body, like stability exercises. So this was like standing on one leg, and then also this is single leg squats. I know this looks so funny, but it felt like a good burn. Then wall sits with the foam roller to squeeze to get the adductors in as well. Then I did some calf raises, which, yeah, it's very simple, exactly what it says on the tin. And then lastly, I'm doing some foot physiotherapy here, which you might think is really weird, but I've got some problems with my knees and hips, and apparently this can be because of weak feet. So I've been doing some foot strengthening basically every day since the surgery,
and I'm improving at it. It's weird, but it's fun. Hi, so this is going to be the last part of this vlog. It is the 9th of May, almost basically 2 weeks after the surgery, and yeah, I mean, I haven't really been filming much. There's not much to update you on other than I'm going to get my stitches out in a couple of days, and this morning the bruising had gone down quite a bit and things are going well so far. So yeah, I'm going to end it here. Thanks for watching, see you soon.